for people who are like myself, who struggle to kind of switch off from their work, what kind of strategies would you give or recommend to utilize in order to maybe create a bit more routine about that process of switching off?
Mm. One of the best ways to do it is that if it allows you to do what you love even more intensely, then it can be a great motivation, right? So getting that break and having that rest, if it's connected to something that you are actually passionate about, right, or interested in doing, and it's going to allow you to do it better, right? That is a great way of looking at it. I tend to find, this concept of burnout and, not taking care of ourselves. When you're deeply involved in something you are passionate about.
You never hear anyone talk about this on podcasts and associated with burnout, but if you actually enjoy something, does it mitigate that element?
It does. Yeah, I'll tell you why. It's because it actually gives you energy as well as takes energy, right? So if you imagine your day is like an energy ATM, and I think you might have heard me talk about these sort of energy ATMs perhaps in the past. But if we've given a certain amount of energy each day, now through the course of the day, we're drawing energy, right, to kind of get stuff done, right? Now, what happens if we don't deposit energy during the day? What happens at the end of the day? You're bankrupt, right? Energy bankrupt, right? However, if you're doing something you actually give a shit about, that you're interested in, right, that actually fires you up, that gets you excited, guess what you're doing? You're depositing energy into that energy ATM as well, right? And this is why a number of us, we can go home after a full-on day, right, and still feel pumped up to do even more. Like the laptop's still open like half an hour later, right? And we're still pounding away on stuff, right? Because our energy is there, it hasn't been depleted. We believe in what we're doing, and there is something bigger than us, right, that we are working on, right? And there's a lot of people out there who they don't have that, right? And so when they look at you and they'll say, what do you mean you worked 13 hours today, right? That's insane. Well, but I really enjoyed what I did.
Yeah.
Right? And it's amazing how many people, mate, don't have that connection.
Do you think this is something we should be promoting more? I guess there's the idea of restoring your energy levels when you worked, like say you're working too hard, versus as we talked about at the start, finding something that you are really passionate about. You can connect the dots between why you're doing something versus the greater purpose behind it, or the silver lining for you and your purpose or your life. Do you think that's maybe something that is not spoken about enough, but could be one of those strategies to kind of alleviate that idea of burnout? Find something you actually enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like all of us, right? When we're engaged in work or something that even, what it's like when you're surrounding yourself with people who you just don't get along with.
Yeah.
Right? It sucks your energy, right? And you walk away from those interactions depleted, right? You might have been sitting down just having a coffee the entire time, right? You haven't done anything,